Welcome to the 9:45 News. Our top story today, the impact of slavery in the Americas and Europe. The economy in the Americas has undoubtedly been greatly impacted by slaves. However, not everybody agrees on the importance of this impact. According to some people, the impact is especially due to the slaves' knowledge on cultivating rice. One author proposes a theory called the Black Rice Theory that says slaves from West Africa already grew rice and so were able to bring over certain technologies and knowledge over to the Americas with them. This knowledge on how to cultivate rice made it a staple crop for many plantations. She even says that plantation owners would try to buy slaves from certain ethnic groups to give them a better knowledge on rice cultivation. The author says that due to this knowledge on and technology for rice cultivation, Africans were able to contribute much more to the American economy than most people give them credit for. However, another author argues the importance of rice culture in the Americas. She says that while the Africans have undoubtedly helped the American economy through the cultivation of rice, the importance it played isn't as big as what the previous author claims. He argues that there is no evidence showing that Africans brought over whole agricultural systems or that they were the primary people in making and maintaining rice regimes. He also says that there is little support showing that plantation owners would actively try to buy slaves from rice-growing areas. Only about 20% of slaves bought before 1750 were from the Upper Guinea area. That means only about 993,000 slaves out of 4.7 million came from the Senegambia and Gold Coast regions. Also, rice cultivation in Africa was very engendering, so that females did a lot, if not all, of the work. And the proportion of female slaves brought over is so small that the Black Rice Theory can't be true. He finishes off by saying that the main reason Africans contributed so much to America's economy is because they've had a great knowledge on farming in general, not just for specific crops. Since the Americas are colonies of European countries, it would only make sense that any impact on the American economy would have a direct relation to that of the European countries, especially England. This leads us to Christian to talk about the rise of capitalism and the effects it has on the economy and slave system present day in the Americas. Christian?
Thank you, Christian. In England, it appears that the general consensus of slavery has slowly diminished as America and France are beginning to change their economic perspectives towards a free labor economy. Soon, the slaves will be completely abolished in England by the laws of 1807, 1833, and 1838, and nearly 800,000 will be peacefully emancipated. Many, such as Anstey, Drescher, and Eltis, believe that the abolition of slavery will negatively impact the economy because of the British West Indies' share of the total oceanic trade. Also, the British economy will need to put much of its spending towards suppressing the international slave trafficking along the coast of Africa, bribing and coercing with other nations to sign anti-slavery treaties, and seizing suspected slave ships. Many are skeptical of the abolition of slavery because economic growth at the time created a soaring demand for consumer goods such as sugar, coffee, tobacco, and cotton, which could be produced much more cheaply by the slaves. Although the abolition of slavery seemed concerning from an economic perspective, the political culture led a significant proportion of the population to oppose the brutality that slavery entailed. Images of semi-naked laborers being driven by the whip made the abolition of slavery acceptable as British society was structurally transforming. Another reason why slavery was slowly losing interest from the people was because the American War of Independence initiated a period of irreversible economic decline in the British Caribbean and also coincided with Britain's shift from mercantilism towards industrial capitalism and free trade. Free labor conveyed a sense of self-work and dutiful work, which was viewed as a way of generally recognizing elements of equality in people of subordinate status. This was a pressing need by both skilled workers and employers to dignify a fair wage labor. British leaders became committed to colonial labor reform because they were convinced that free labor would be less dangerous and more beneficial to the imperial economy as a whole. Overall, the world's first industrial nation could transcend its narrow self-interest and achieve genuine reform, which greatly improved the lives of millions of blacks across the world. That's it for the 9:45 News. We'll see you next time.